at Under Armour. I think we control our own destiny, and so whether David makes it or not has nothing to do with sort of the size or the might of Goliath. And if you're thinking like that, you'll probably always be able to find a reason and frankly an excuse and some lame answer as to why you can't win because the markets aren't good. I was in the middle of this and through 2000 in the first crash, and people are going, "It's market's terrible, market's terrible." I'm like, I'm selling stretchy t-shirts. It's not nothing to do with the financial crisis. It's like sports are going to be played and kids will wear it or they won't. And I think anybody you can look and find, but I challenge all of us to say, stop finding reasons to find and make excuses that we affectionately at Under Armour call loser talk. And I don't know, you've got to just will it and focus on making it happen.
I do remember.
I think it might be you. There's a saying, it was actually attributed to the chairman of Sony several years ago, and it said that perfection is the enemy of innovation. Perfection is the enemy of innovation. And what that effectively means is that how many entrepreneurs are sitting out there with a great idea, tinkering in their garage right now, waiting to get this concept out there, waiting to get the idea out there, but it's not quite perfect yet. The criteria that we use at Under Armour whenever we look at a product or whenever we decide to do something is that it must be better than what's currently available on the market. It may not be the perfect vision of what we have, but sometimes you have to get in the game in order to make it improve. Don't ever settle. Don't ever let a product just be okay or just barely good enough. But I challenge all of us to think in that way as you could.
Finds them in some part. Leadership is required. It's in the word. It's to lead, and it's to lead by example, and it's to have and set a vision, and all those kind of things that you need. But it's to make sure that you never limit the idea or the opportunity. What I find myself doing more often than not is ensuring that we have enough runway in front of us, ensuring that we are thinking about things big enough, because you can become complacent. Your job is to push your company, but it's not just to show up and say, I want 20% more. More importantly, you need to set an expectation and set a path and a vision that allows people to achieve that at the same time. Yeah, I think like anyone is that I would tell you that the number one key to Under Armour's success, to any new company's success, plain and simple, is focus. And the thing lost in sort of the first 10 years that we don't get credit for at Under Armour was that from 1996 to really 2000, we had one product. Great entrepreneurs take one product and say, we're going to be great for this. And most importantly, we're going to be famous for one thing. And that is like the greatest advice I can give you, because so often you get caught up with trying to keep up with the Joneses and going, but they're doing this and they're doing that. It's like, they're also like 150 times your size. You're not in the same league. You need to become great at one thing. And that's where at Under Armour, in the first 5 years, we're on, I think it's over the 60th different iteration of that first short sleeve wicking compression t-shirt that I made. And so often you see people going, you've got to make a long sleeve, you've got to make one for women's, you've got to make one here. And it was like, I have to make this product great. And we literally sold it and made it over and over. And it was never, frankly, done. And that's what allowed us from that t-shirt and like, you should make shoes, you should make shoes, you should make shoes. And I'm going, we're not ready to make shoes. And it wasn't until 2006 when we finally launched shoes, 10 years into our company. And then frankly, it's not even really until now and getting better, 10 years after beginning to make them and 8 years after selling them, where I think we're really beginning to see scale and the ability to be great in footwear. And it took us becoming famous in one thing first, before you just start running off on a number of ideas that aren't the most important thing to the success of your business.